We're live. And let me just do something really quickly because I'm sure you guys are all in the other video. And I want to make sure that's not happening. There we go. Sorry guys, I just had to I didn't see you guys there because I was actually letting you guys know that I'm back here. So I actually like this film a lot more than I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel. I think this was directed by Jonathan Liebsman, and he does a better job than Marcus Nesbitt. Marcus Nesbitt is not a strong director. He really, really isn't. So I really get people. It really irks me if you ask me when I get asked about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre the reboot, because I really don't like the film, and it's just bad filmmaking. It's MTV filmmaking, and it's just bad filmmaking. It's the worst of what I think a horror movie should be. Anytime that somebody makes fun of horror films and said, well, it's just all about girls running upstairs when they should be running out the front door. Texas Chainsaw Massacre the reboot is exactly that, and I love horror, so I really hate that. Right on. So anyway, this one's actually better. It's a better film. It's got a better cast. It plays out better. It doesn't have Marcus Nesbitt's directing, which does actually help it. Makes it a bit more solid, though you do know where the film is going to go. No, it's not the worst slasher reboot. You know, that still goes up there with like Black Christmas or Halloween. Those were definitely not well done. Oh, Peter, welcome, dude. This is the second part. I actually froze up on the last part and I had to actually do it. So go back and watch the first part later on. I talked about the original ones and I showed my my Black Maria set for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, the only thing good I can say about the remakes is that it gets a whole new set of eyes looking at the film. That I do like. So hopefully they'll go watch the remake and they'll watch the original. Sadly, it's going to make some people say, honestly, at this point, Dayton, I don't care. As long as I'm on here, that's fine. And ready, how's it going, man? Rob Zombie actually did want to make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. His whole movies, you know, the House of Corpses, Devil's Reject, definitely came out of Rob Zombie not getting to make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. You can tell the Firefly family is highly reminiscent of the family in that. So it's time to talk about another one that a lot of people didn't like. Texas Chainsaw 3D, or just Texas Chainsaw. Go get them, cuz. Do you think? This has Alexandria Daddario, and if you ever had to ask this question, you shouldn't. Daddario definitely on that Google Doc list. I have a serious liking of this film. I often agree with there's a channel called Good Bad Flicks that actually does a lot of like reviews on films and stuff, and they actually talked about this one. So it's one that I do strongly have. I got strong opinions on this one because of the fact that one, I'll be honest with you, I spoke with Gunnar Hansen before this movie came out. He was extremely proud of his role in this film, and he was extremely proud of the film. He was proud of the fact that he worked with the guy that plays Leatherface in this film, and that the guy that played Leatherface reached out to him. and actually kind of had him like they actually do a good job of putting in sequences from the original film. Yeah, that's the girl from True Detective. You once you see that scene, you never forget it. Daddario is probably one of the most beautiful actresses on the face of the planet right now. I will definitely stand by that. She's the Edwidge Finch of this generation. And I would love to see her do a Giallo style film because she has, with the dark hair and the eyes and just her look, is excellent for Giallo films. So if we ever get a renaissance of of the Giallo genre, Alessandro Daddario would be perfect for this. Oh, Gunnar Hansen was extremely intellectual, extremely well read, like soft spoken, very smart guy. And some people like think, oh, he did horror films, like he played Leatherface. No, actually, was a really, really smart guy. But yeah, this film works in a lot of ways because basically, we tend to forget what Leatherface was actually like in the original films, and this goes back to what I originally said. Leatherface is is the abused family member. He's the one that's slapped around. He's the big guy, but he's still, even with the chainsaw, he's the big teddy bear of the family. He's the one that kind of gets made fun of from the rest of the family, from not being as smart or fast or as quick as this. Was Massacre I think it was his first film. I'd have to look into it, but I think if not, it was his first actual kind of feature leading role anyway. And he wasn't even originally going to be in it. I mean, like he just went there, by happenstance, really. But Gunner's back in this one. This is, this he does a good job. Now, Mosquito. If you've never seen Mosquito with Gunnar Hansen, get yourself Mosquito from Snaps. That's an excellent kind of like monster film. I'll talk about that one on here sometime, and I'll get into some of his other roles as well. But Mosquito, I strongly recommend. They switch it around. Rather than there's no family anymore. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the series, until the reboots came about, they were all about family. They were about kind of a twisted but like a strong family bond. So what happens to Leatherface? What happens to him? What happens when his family is taken out of the equation? We get to find that out. There's a great amount of cast back. Marilyn Burns comes back for a different role. Now, Marilyn Burns we haven't seen since part 3. Hey, John Watson. I'd actually spoke about the original Texas Chainsaw films in the first part of this retrospective, which froze up apparently. So I'm redoing it. Well, not redoing. I'm doing the second part. This is the second part of it. Hey, Jaxic, I talked a lot about it, and I'll go through. I'll actually list them from favorite to least favorite at the end of the video. But this one actually does a lot better. It actually twists it around so that they become the sort of the good guys, the anti-heroes. Some people didn't like that aspect of it, but it was a natural progression in the way that the film worked. The villains in this are good. Some people will go like, well, there's computer-generated blood. Yes, there is, and it's horrible, and it's badly done. But that doesn't detract from the rest of the sequence of the film. There's actually even a nice little aspect where, yep. So yeah, I actually really do like this film. And the 3D is actually pretty good too. But I think they should have went all in a bit more. Now, the people that signed on for that movie signed on for about 6 sequels, like 6 films altogether. They haven't followed up with that. They haven't done any since that one there. There's one other Leatherface film that we got to talk about. And I don't own that one. but I've seen it. I saw it on VOD, and it actually, usually when I see something on streaming, I'll go out and I'll buy it right away when it comes out. This one, I'm going to wait till it's really, 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 really cheap. And that'll be Leatherface. Leatherface, the 2017 one. Now, that being said, I went in with some definite expectations. It was done by the people that did the movie Inside. And if you don't know the movie Inside, it is a fantastic, like, a new French new horror wave. And it's, so these guys know their stuff. They know the gore. And then they made this film. And of course it had some awesome cast members in the film, some awesome actors, and I think it was Stephen Dorff was in that one, and oh God, the girl from Addiction, the star of Addiction, was in it as well. But you know what? It was bad. It wasn't a very good film. You know within the first 5 minutes of the when Leatherface is put on the screen that this character is going to be Leatherface. He throws this like kind of like this red herring, and the honest to God truth of the matter is that the red herring should have been who Leatherface was. Leatherface isn't supposed to be a character with a personality. The whole idea behind the masks in the first place was that Leatherface was a character that's broken. He's a blank slate. He wears different masks to different people. This film doesn't get that. Oh, really? That'd be neat to have then. The Australian one. So it made me feel like the people that did the new Leatherface 2017, that one, they didn't actually watch the films, or they didn't know the films, or they didn't like the films, because I don't think they got any. They tried to get the family aspect right in the films, but that's about the only part. I mean, I'll give them that. At least they did family in Leatherface, which was missing from the sequels, from the reboots, because F the reboots. Yeah, I'll watch it more than I'll watch like the other ones. So there we go. I've talked about the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. What are my thoughts on all the films overall? Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original film, is and will always probably be one of my favorite horror films of all times. I do consider this to be a near perfect, if not perfect, horror film. Obviously, it's a movie that's hard to follow up. That being said, movies have followed up, and there have been sequels that have done very, very good jobs of being follow-ups of a film, because you really got to do your own thing. You really had to do something different, but stay within the confines of the universe. Ed Gein. Oh, Ed Gein was a major. See, he lived close to where the Ed Gein murders happened at. And if you want to see like a good movie on Ed Gein, there's a movie called Deranged, which is also pretty much inspired by Ed Gein, done starring Robert Blossom, who actually plays the old Conley neighbor in the Home Alone film. So you want to see him play a deranged Ed Gein style serial killer, check out the movie Deranged. But this will always be one of my favorite horror films. It has to be though. That's Franklin's thing, is that he's annoying, and you know what? He did the role so well that the actors actually found him annoying doing the movie. Not that the actor himself was annoying, but that his role was extremely was extremely annoying, and the other actors found it hard to work around and with him due to that aspect of it. Part 2, I thought was a decent follow-up. It was fun. It's what it was. It's not great, but I enjoy it. And Carolyn Williams, love Carolyn Williams, love those legs. Part 3, I thought did a better job. I thought they amped it up with Part 3. They got back to what I liked about the film. No, it wasn't actually handicapped. But part three became was fun again. Part three was exactly kind of what I wanted it to be. Part two is good and it's a cult film, but part two is a cult film because it's not really a good film, but it's like kind of a so good it's bad, over the top humor. Anybody that'll say like part two is like the great, it's not. It's like it's a fun film, but it's not like it's not. I wouldn't consider it good as in like the franchise. Part three, I do consider like to be a really good follow up of the film. Part four, you guys know, if you guys watched the first part of this video, I actually love part four. I think part four is the humorous part, whereas part two often gets the credit for being the funny Texas Chainsaw, the funny over the top silly Texas Chainsaw movie. It's not. That's part four. Part four does that in all ways better than part two does, in my opinion. And some people are gonna like really like hate on that, but I definitely think that. I don't have any love at all for the reboot. If you watch the first part of this video, you know that. The beginning I actually do like better than the reboot, though it's still, and in a large part because I think Jordana Brewster is an incredible actress. She does a great job, and man, she looks a lot like Demi Moore, a young Demi Moore. So anytime they want to remake a Demi Moore film, Jordana Brewster, she's out there, man. And Texas Chainsaw 3D, again, I thought was a great follow-up. They did a fun job with it. Is it a perfect film? No, but I really enjoyed it. And last but not least is Leatherface 2017, and they're rebooting from that one again. They're not going to go on from there. So you can actually bypass that one altogether, and you're not going to lose anything. Overall, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre original franchise from 1 to 4, they're fairly strong. I mean, there's not one there that I think if you watch it, you're really not gonna enjoy yourself. Whether you enjoy it like because it's a fun movie, because it's a scary movie, because it's a funny, silly movie, I think you're pretty much gonna enjoy all the films. And they do have big actors, from Viggo Mortensen to Matthew McConaughey to Renee Zellweger to the little girl that played like little Tina in Friday the 13th Part 7. So there's like a lot of little neat aspects with these films. And of course, though I didn't mention them, of course, we cannot understate Dennis Hopper's role in part two. He's extremely good, and he gets extremely into his role. You can see that he is, as well. The sequence where he's testing at the chainsaws, you can tell he's just a little bit into going a little bit method when Dennis Hopper does the chainsaw testing sequence. I think backstory in a lot of cases doesn't need to come into it. Look at a movie like Halloween. Halloween is the perfect example of a backstory ruining a film. Halloween is a movie where it's meant to be like super scary and just extremely you project your own fear onto it. That works with Texas Chainsaw as well. Texas Chainsaw, all you'll have to know is that, much like they've made a wrong turn. They've come upon the wrong house and the wrong people. It is not going to end well. You do not need to know the psychological aspects of the behind the scenes of the characters. You don't need to know what the cook was doing before this movie happened. Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a movie and as a series itself really are films that are slices of terror at a specific time. Texas Chainsaw is set over a night, really. It's set, it's really just a day that it's done in. And any other really good ones are done like that. Texas Leatherface is done over like a series of time. There's even like an aspect with the reboot where there's like a little bit of time in between when it happens and when we actually see through backstory see things. But no, the first 4 Texas Chainsaw films are slices of making that really wrong turn to make that really bad decision, to be in that really wrong place, and and anybody can relate to that. We've all driven down the road of a town that I'll actually get into that one. Actually, I'm coming out. But where maybe we've taken a wrong turn, or maybe we've driven or past this house that looked super sketchy, or we stopped at a gas station and we're, in an area we don't know, and the people there looked odd, they looked different, they look weird. It's a highly relatable franchise. That's what I can say. It's a highly relatable franchise. It can make your skin crawl for various reasons. Texas Chainsaw Massacre works on a very visceral level. And I was just asked, is Halloween better made than Texas Chainsaw? Is Texas Chainsaw better made than Halloween? I love both of the films, and I think they're both amazingly well done films. I would, however, like to say that when it comes to Southern Gothic aspects are all over that. Texas Chainsaw, Halloween had a lot that it took from. Halloween took a lot from like movies like Black Christmas and When a Stranger Calls, stuff like that. Halloween was an extremely well done film. John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors. And I will never lessen the impact that Halloween had, though I do think that as far as a visceral, real, raw horror film that is going to completely scare me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre scares me more. I will watch Halloween more than I will watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, basically because it takes a little bit out of me to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It still bothers me. I'm a bit whippy that way. The movie actually does bother me a bit, and I do generally like the fun slasher film. So I would like to I like to say that I like Halloween in a different way. So it's really hard to compare them, but they're both they're both deep reds of their ilk. Deep Red is a giallo film by filmmaker Dario Argento, and giallos had been made before that and had been made since that. But Deep Red is often thought of as the definitive statement on the giallo, and just really well done. Halloween and Texas Chainsaw in many ways are kind of that. Oh, dude, you can wait on Leatherface. You can totally wait on Leatherface in Red Eye. Not lying. You can just, if you get it for really cheap, man. Get a couple bucks. Wait till it goes on sale. But yeah. So that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. I do apologize that I had to start this video over halfway. I know that it's going to be, unfortunately, track people over to both the videos because, yeah, viewership's not going to be that great when a video goes in half. That tends to be the thing that happens, which really sucks. I actually thought of it almost. I wish somebody would give me a heads up because that was a really, really not a good film. So what are your thoughts, guys? I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me on part 4. I understand that. It's just my personal opinion on these films. But I do think that I made a good argument for part 4, at least, even if you don't like it. I do think that I made a good argument for at least giving it another look. But yeah, as is it only 2 of the actors that have played Leatherface that are passed on now, like Robert Jacks and Gunnar Hansen? I think those are the only 2 that have passed away. My connection problem? I don't know, actually. Just because, I know, sometimes that happens, though I gotta say, when all the comments came in about the connection, it really was distracting. uh, but uh, but yeah, rewatch part 4 definitely. Part 3, highly likable film. Mark, you just missed my thoughts on the Texas Chainsaw. Make sure you go back and watch both parts of this video. I'm very proud of this one, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super proud of this video. I gotta thank everybody that came in to watch my haul video, my Bay Street video haul video. And again, if you're in the Toronto area, 110% get your butt up to Bay Street video, because every time I go to Ontario, that's the first place I'm gonna hit from now on. We're actually planning a trip to Ontario in the future to go there. So that's got to say something. Look around my movie library. I'm planning a trip to Toronto to go to Bay Street Video. So, Viggo Mortensen? Yeah, it's been a. Oh, thanks, Tyler. I actually loved that. That's the haul was done specifically. One, I found an amazing store. Two, I wanted to. There's certain things I wanted to highlight on my channel in the next few months, and if you watch that haul video, then you're kind of going to understand where my channel is going to go, and some of the things I'm going to be talking about in the next few months. Thanks, Isaac. Hopefully it was even with the freezing up part and the part where I'm like, and it froze. It always freezes up on the worst part. Like it froze up like this. I probably could, but Cora, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave them as it is. That way it's not so daunting. Some people come in and they find the 2-hour videos a little bit daunting. Maybe some people come in and they'll watch it and then they'll go on to the second part because they like the first part. So we'll see. Or maybe I'll lose some people in the second part like I do when I do some kind of 2-part reviews. I will be doing some actual reviews as well. I'm going to be keeping on with my live stuff. I'm actually going to try to do some reviews and retrospectives as well. Some will be done live. I will do a couple that I'll put a little bit more that I will actually film, and hopefully those will be ones that you guys will like as well. So my focus for this channel is on the movie club first and foremost. That is what this is. I just want to be able to give you guys as much content and as much, hopefully, quality content as I can. So if you haven't watched the haul video, please watch it. It's one that I showed off a lot of films that I showed off everything that I picked up. I've got another haul video coming up actually in the near future, hopefully when the movies come that I'm waiting on. But if you want to see where my channel is going, and you're wondering, you're new here, the Bay Street Video haul video is a good way to see what some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing is. I will definitely shoot some more footage. Hopefully, I will maybe get to speak to, if they don't mind, I'll speak to one or two of the people that works at Bay Street, see if they'll let me put my camera. I would love that, actually. I do have some footage shot, like some not very good footage, but a little bit of footage shot. So I'm going to be doing a little kind of like, I'm put it together. It's on my phone right now. So I got to like transport it over to my iMac and do some editing on that. And you will see like some footage from Bay Street Video. I'll do like kind of like a voiceover for that footage and kind of give you like a bit of my experience of actually being in the Bay Street Video store. So that's coming in the near future as well. I just got to transport my my video clips over onto my iMac, and then I got to edit it in iMovie. So that's how I usually do. When you see me do a video that's not live, and usually it's either shot on here, like kind of just Gonzo style, or if you've seen one of my earlier videos with like openings and all that type of stuff, then usually that's done on iMovie, because I'm a Mac guy. I've got like an iPhone and an iPad, and I got an iMac upstairs. So that's that's how I do that. Thanks, Andy. So there we go. Gosh, the thing is shining. If you're in Ontario, you should especially watch those movies because it is super cold. When I was walking in Bay Street to get to the store, it was so bloody cold out. I mean, I was like, what night? It was the second last night I was there. It was like Tuesday night. I'm watching like a USI movie too. Right on. Great minds think alike, Kubrick. Make sure you watch his videos, by the way. He does some awesome stuff. As does Enready, by the way. So Enready does some really cool stuff, and he does some out and abouts, which I recommend watching. I did watch a few of Enready's videos before I went to Ontario. Enready, Kubrick Lover, Corey. Make sure you guys check out all their channels. And once again, anybody that's tweeted these videos or tweeted about my channel, thank you. I'm really 100% like from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much because recently I've seen like my stuff show up on Twitter, whether people have been like tweeting about the channel or tweeting about the recent Just the Disc podcast. I will be back on Just the Disc again, in a large part thanks to you guys. Actually, you deserve a shout out, guys. We do watch movies in the theater as well. She likes more of the actiony type. So we see a lot of like the super movies in the theater. Though I did have to convince her to go see Into the Spider-Verse, and she thanked me for that because that was a good one. I do want to get the Pet Sematary 4K. This probably want to wait till later on in the year to get because I know it'll be one of those sale ones around like Boxing Day, Black Friday type of thing. I was asked recently what am I more excited for, It Chapter 2 or Pet Sematary? And I'll be honest with you, Pet Sematary. And I'll tell you why. I loved it. It was fantastic. I also read the book yet. So they're going to have to do some major changes in It Chapter 2 because I'm going to be completely honest here. If you've read the book yet, you're going to know what I'm going to say right now. I don't even have to say this. But the adult portion of the book It isn't very good. It's really not that good at all, actually. It's okay, but the children aspect of the novel it works extremely much better, in my opinion, than when we see them as adults. I just didn't get into it as much. Pun intended. So, more excited about Pet Sematary, the remake, than I am excited about It Chapter 2. I'm hoping that they're going to go in a completely different way than the book does. So, I don't want to see any turtles coming up or any of that type of stuff, any giant turtles. And please don't bore me with some of their adult aspects of their life that just really, it's a long book. It could have easily done it with them, being as kids. And then we could have heard that he's back, and you could have ended the book right there. Creepy and ominous and foreboding with a little bit of ambiguity. I would have loved that. That's my thought anyway. You made it just in time. You made it just sadly. The adult part that's not good. Like even the book, man. Like you read the book, right, Brian? True to Cocaine Friends. The book is it's a good book, but the adult portion of the book, the same as the adult portion of the film, is just not that. You want the turtle? You want that? I'm sure they'll do something. They'll have some aspect. I don't think they'll go with the turtle though. That was a little over the top. And that's what happens when Stephen King does a lot of cocaine. Yeah, so hopefully the next one they'll go in a different direction and do their own thing with it, because if it goes too close to the book, we can see what happens sometimes. I like the fact that it's a good long book, but it does like the adult portion of it doesn't get like Do you need the cocaine frenzy turtle? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Corey. I'm not sure if we do need the cocaine frenzy turtle. Anyway, I am going to go check on my better half, who's upstairs watching TV, who's probably gleefully watching TV that she's, because I haven't hogged the television set, and if she's watching something, I'll just get my Nintendo Switch out. So I'll do that because I do. So, thank you guys for coming in. I am Aaron. Thank you for joining me for both of these videos. If you saw both of them, thanks a lot. If you didn't see the first part of this video, I'm actually really proud of the first part of the video. Make sure you go back and watch it. Have a great evening. Glad to see Kevin Movie Man. So sorry it was so short. I will try. I'm trying to be doing more content on my channel, and as long as I can keep the content of of a decent quality. So there we go. Oh really? Oh, thank you. And I'm hopefully I'll be back on just to this again. Hope fingers crossed. So we'll be talking about some other stuff, some more Vinegar Syndrome more than likely. And I apologize for some of my earlier videos, which are not always the best. Always great talking to you guys. Have a great time, and until next time, I am Aaron. It really is time for tea. You guys are the movie club. Newcomers, you guys all here. You're all now official members of the movie club, and you're all awesome. Have a great